and we're talking about how to forgive yourself. We had a comment in the comment section on one of Yvonne's videos about how to forgive yourself, and we thought, why not just go live and talk about it?
How to forgive yourself. Hi everyone, I'm Yvonne. How are you all doing today? Great to have you on board with us. So hopefully you will come through and ask us some questions on about forgiving yourself. So Unique, how would you go about forgiving yourself?
To be honest with you, I'm actually just having a look to see what questions are going to be coming up. So we've got ourselves here on the live. It's exciting though, because we normally only really see us on Facebook.
On Facebook,
right?
yeah.
So we just thought, let's come here and be live over here.
And usually we're separated when we do our lives, and today we're actually sitting in the same place on the same couch. So it's not trickery. We are really together, sitting on the couch with each other.
And we are live.
Yes.
And 7 people have joined us from what I can see. So say hello. I'm in the comments everyone. As well. So say hello. So should we just jump right in?
Yeah, let's do so. We're talking about, as we said, how to forgive yourself. Because, you know, things happen to us in life. We do things, we say things, and it's not until we've actually said those things or done that particular thing, then you think, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done it. Yeah. And years later, you beat yourself up about it, and you then realize, you know what, I haven't forgiven myself. So how do you go about forgiving yourself? What is it that you're going to tell yourself that is going to enable you to get over it and to truly forgive yourself so that you can be released from that bondage?
Yeah. And I guess you have to kind of really ask yourself the questions of what it is that you want to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, we're having a conversation as a team before we did the live about the things that we need to face. Yes. And it's very hard to face yourself. Yeah. I can face your issues and tell you to forgive yourself, and I will face you and face you and tell you what's what and what's what with you. But when it comes to me, I think it's just one of those things where something about learning yourself makes us really afraid to forgive ourselves.
Yes. It could be a case that I believe that we think that we are so bad. It's okay for me, for you to do it. And I can say, you know what? Forgive yourself because this happened and it was this reason and that.
Cut yourself some slack, isn't it?
Yes. My favorite saying is cut yourself some slack. But then when it comes to me, I can't give myself that same advice. Yeah. It's that famous saying that says, physician, heal thyself. You see it and you can heal somebody else. But when you're experiencing that, those same symptoms, and you know that, you know what, I, can tell myself, what I would tell a patient is do this and do this. But you can't tell yourself that somehow that it's okay. And we have got to learn to talk to ourselves and not just to say things that we think it's going to, sound good. Oh, I can do all things
through Christ who strengthens me. And it's good. Yes. Let's not mock it. Yes. The honest thing, it is good. Hey Kim and hi Valerie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi Valerie and Kim.
So all we're saying is that it's all good. Yes, I can do all things. Yes. I can do anything. But why is it I didn't want to mess that up. Oh my God.
So now you know we truly are live.
Right, glasses back on. Oh, Chengi. Anyhow,
yes.
As we were so rudely interrupted, like you're not so graciously interrupted by the one and only. Yeah. So actually, now that you're here,
today was an office day. So in case you're wondering, this is the management team for Black Swan Relationship Academy, head coach and business development, and other than them just being coaches. So we're having an admin day. Look, the only person who comes to work looking glamorous is Coach Unique.
Yes, and apologies for not looking right.
Looking fabulous on a Monday. And this is the classic Coach Yvonne. So she always looks fabulous. Now, okay. So in case you're thinking, we thought we'd come on live and just say hi. And just talk about some of the stuff that's in the comments. Okay. So I was sort of watching the girls from the other room and I thought, oh, I gotta get
Can't miss
this. Okay, what I want to know, ladies, is what are you forgiving yourself for?
Yeah.
What are we forgiving ourselves for? What are some of the issues that you think? Hi.
Pearl, Lucille has joined us. Pearl has joined us. Hey.
Hi. How y'all doing? We thought we'd just like come onto your feed this Monday because actually editing hasn't returned my Monday video. So this was a question from your video. What was the title of your video?
The title of the video was 5 ways to
make him
love you more.
Yeah.
And one of our viewers asked, how do you forgive yourself? And so this is the reason why.
Why do you think she brought that up?
Was
there something in your video that...
in the video I talked about... there wasn't anything per se in the video about forgiving yourself, but I think where she's probably coming from is the communication.
Yeah.
Because communication is an important part of being in any relationship, whether it's romantic or, you know, with your children or whoever it is that you're in a relationship with.
Yeah.
You must need to know how to communicate. And if you're unable to communicate because of something that you have done maybe from in the past and it's stopping you because you haven't forgiven yourself, then you're going to have to forgive yourself to move on from it, to be able to communicate with your
So we're talking about
other.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Guilt and so really forgiveness has got to do with guilt and shame, right?
Yes.
It's got to do with I'm forgiving myself for perhaps something that happened to me or something
can I
I
ask
did.
a question with that? Could because of the title of the video, could it just be a thing where for him to get to love me more, I need to love myself, but I can't love myself because I can't forgive myself.
Yeah,
so
but
how do we do that?
But in order for that question to then become to be able to answer it, what is it that you're forgiving yourself from? What is it that you have done? Is it something that was in your past when you were a child? Is it something that you said 10 minutes ago? Is it something, do you get what I mean? So
well, we've got a good one here, because that's a good one. It says, this is from Pearl J. Thank you, Pearl. I'm forgiving myself for not waiting for God for a life mate more than once. I was raised to live with a man. I'm not sure I understand. I'm forgiving myself for not waiting for God for a life mate more than once. Yeah. So you're forgiving yourself because you feel like you went ahead of God. Explain what that means to you. Does that mean that you are feeling guilty that you were proactive in your love life, or that you didn't? Just explain that
it was
to
somebody
me.
maybe that God didn't bring him.
Yeah.
And
So
you went out
let's hear what you have to say. Yeah. Lucille says, I'm forgiving myself for not trusting myself and listening to my intuition. This is another thing that I think a lot of us, you know, and then we have to go down to the question of why don't we trust ourselves?
Yes.
Is it because of the guilt and shame that is around our decision-making processes? So this is really good.
And also when you're talking about forgiving yourself, one of the things that then comes up is the anger that we have inside. And we all know that anger is us covering up, whether it's shame or disappointment or, you know, so many different things that anger covers up. So if you're having, you know, that kind of issue, again, you're going to have to stop and ask yourself, so, okay, so why have I reacted that way? What is it that's going on that I might be covering up by being angry? And by being angry, you're not being heard, you're not being listened to. So what is at the core of why the anger is coming out?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll just read a few comments from Bonnie. Says, being a widow, I learned to take care of myself, being alone at 49. And Pearl goes to say, yes, exactly. They all failed and it made me feel like a failure, but I know I'm not. And Bonnie also says, is there still love out there for me?
Absolutely.
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 I guess Bonnie was replying to, I think Pearl is replying to your comment when you're asking her about.
Yes, exactly. They all failed and it made me feel like a failure, but okay. So here's what I'm going to say. I feel that you are self-blaming because, and self-blame is the substitute for taking responsibility.
Yeah.
It's easier to blame yourself. Oh, I wish I'd trusted God. I wish I'd, done the right things. I'm just a terrible human being. And if I trusted God, look, there are many God-ordained relationships that don't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the people are not ready.
Yes.
You are not ready. The person is not ready, right? But it doesn't mean God didn't say it. It just means, or that it wasn't intended. And I think the problem is in our understanding of when God is involved in a scenario, what does that look like?
Yeah.
We believe that if God is involved in the mix, it must work. It must get better. But when we look through scripturally, we know that when God is involved, things actually tend to get worse.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
God wanted to deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. And what did he do? Created plagues and made it worse for them. Because the moment Moses spoke, guess what happened? They had to do twice as much work and create their own. So there's always that dark and difficult place that you will go through, especially because God is in it. But if you don't understand what God looks like, what God's involvement in our lives looks like, you're going to assume that because it's gone wrong or because it didn't work, that God was not in there. But at the moment, you are self-blaming. And I want you to watch the video on self-compassion that I did. When we have self-compassion and we realize, look, you did the best you could with the possibilities that were available. It's not that you didn't wait on God. You just didn't recognize the problems that were there. I don't think that you were such an idiot that you just saw all the red flags and married him anyway. I think what we do is we see some red flags, we see a lot of green flags, and at the end of the day, we just have to make a decision. And we have to be okay with, I made that decision and I take responsibility for that decision, and I did not have the skill set, the knowledge, the understanding to make that work. And now what I'm going to do is take responsibility for that decision and get the skill set, the knowledge, and understanding. Because that's more healing and compassionate to your soul than, gosh, I need to forgive myself for not trusting God. Because guess what? We are all trying to figure this thing out, right?
I think you said something that's very, very important there about being compassionate with yourself. So I think we are the least compassionate with ourselves. We are our own worst critics. We really berate ourselves in our minds. And I think we had this conversation as well. It's about, we really need to let our inner child, our inner girl, our past, we really need to let ourselves heal. And when we heal, that's when we can forgive ourselves, right? Because half the time we are really acting from a space where, like right now, the comments that are coming up about, will I ever find love? It's like, we're already doubting our own ability of love and our own capacity of love.
And our own capacity to create love. And I really feel like what has happened, certainly in churchianity and in religion, is that love was supposed to happen to us, for us, around us, because God does it for us. We were not taught, certainly I wasn't, being born and raised in a religious world, I was not told that I can create love. I can literally be an architect for the love and the life I want. Not just love, but the life I want. And it took me a divorce and a lot of broken hearts to get to a point where I realized I am not a victim. I'm only a victim of misinformation. Right? Just this idea that God is just going to bring and dangle a good husband. So I didn't know that I needed to have a skill set. I needed to have a certain set of understandings. I needed to understand psychology of men and women, dynamics. I didn't realize that these things were essential. But you see, the thing is, these all sound great, but these were principles passed down from generation to generation. These are things that mothers would tell their daughters, aunties would tell their nieces. But with the breakdown of culture, and people living in different places, we now have to literally read books and understand, or join the academy and actually engage in learning. And I feel like so many of us are so hard on ourselves, like, will I ever find love? Actually, it's only what you don't know away. There's a scripture I love. It says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Right? It's what you don't know that's keeping you single. It's not God. It's not a lack of men.
And sometimes even what you know, because it's
what you know too. What you know when you're misinformed. What you know.
And one of the things that we also tend to do is, when you have found the person, and it's as you spoke of earlier, where you're talking about the red and the amber and the green flags that are there, especially the amber and the red ones, we are taught in church that don't worry, God will fix it.
Yeah.
And yes, he can, but God's time of fixing it and your time of wanting it fixed is two different times. It could be 20 years down the road before it gets fixed, and you go through all the, the trials and the traumas, and many along that road will have given up. And in the giving up, you're blaming yourself to say, I didn't, go through it. And it could be a case of where you are now saying, after all this time, as the question came through to say, I haven't forgiven myself because this failed and it didn't work. I did wrong. No, you didn't. You made a decision on what was presented and you believed what you were told that God would fix it. But nobody told you the time in which he was going to fix it. And
to add on to that as well, sometimes we will say, okay, I have to wait for God to fix it. But sometimes God is showing you those things so that it becomes part of your arsenal.
Yes.
It becomes part of your purpose, becomes part of the stuff that you're going to talk about. Like, we are not all sitting here because, we've just read.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've also experienced life.
Yeah.
And that is what we have now taken, because you can turn that thing around. Okay. Let me say, I'm not forgiving myself for a situation. Say I married the wrong person. I could spend the next 10 years not forgiving myself for being with that person and not seeing the red flags, not seeing the signs. But I could take it as, okay, now that I've learned that, okay, these red flags lead to this. So now I can come, Black Swan Relationship Academy, and teach you, these are the red flags that you need to look out for. This is what I'm going to look out for in my next relationships. I think the part of forgiveness is allowing ourselves not to stay in a place where you're questioning and waiting, but to also learn that it's a lesson. Teach yourself to, okay, fair enough, I'm not forgiving myself for this part. What can I learn from it? Well, that's part of the forgiveness process as well, isn't it?
That forgiving yourself is and learning from what you've been through is the healing of what it is, because the God that we serve wastes nothing. And so whatever it is that you have gone through with, regardless of who they are, you learn from it and you move on. And whilst you may not make those mistakes with the next person, there are other mistakes that's going to be made. And as you make them, then we're going to have to learn to forgive ourselves when it's done, and not wait until we've swept so much under the carpet that we're literally stumbling over every time we walk into a room because of all that we've swept under the carpet. Deal with it as it comes up, and talk to yourself, tell yourself. One of the things that we do as, especially as women, we beat up on ourselves so badly. It is unbelievable the things that we say to ourselves. And when those thoughts come into our head, it's something that our wonderful Mama Swan taught us is, tell yourself, we're not doing that anymore. So immediately that thought comes into your head. If you're going to say that you're this or you're that or you're whatever, immediately it comes. We're not doing that anymore. And that thought will stop. And the more you say it, then what will happen is they won't come as much. But every so often they will raise their head, deal with it immediately, cut it off and let it know. We're not going to do that anymore, and really cut yourself some slack, because you're doing well.
And what I want to hear more from women is, I am seeking to heal myself. Because I feel like forgiveness is this need for the internal judge. That this lack of consciousness that I have this judge who is judging me, and that voice is coming from within myself. But I feel like if we would heal ourselves, how do I heal myself is what I want to hear more of. I want to hear, how do I heal from the mistakes I've made? How do I, and I think Lucille here has said, it's being fearful from making the same mistake. And I think this is the thing. Listen, you will make the same mistake. You really will.
Actually.
And it's okay. This is where self-compassion.
Can I ask you something? Is it ever really the same mistake? Because you making the same mistake would mean you have to go back to that same person to make that same mistake. If it's a new person, it's a new mistake. It's not the same.
Right? Or even at the same time with the same information. I feel that what we need to do, and I always say this to the coaches and for myself, that if you look at relationships as lessons, you will stop feeling like there's a mistake.
Yeah, right.
You know, I had to do my O-levels 3 times to eventually pass it. I don't see those as mistakes. That just says to me, I hadn't mastered a level. That's it. And you haven't mastered a level.
It might not even be your level to master.
Exactly.
Right?
So if you're repeating something, it doesn't mean you're stupid. I'm probably one of the smartest people I know. But I just hadn't mastered enough of what was on the curriculum.
Yeah.
And just because I was lazy, I didn't study. I went through the whole of high school without studying ever. So I actually did well for somebody who never studied. But it was really that ability to say, you know what, I haven't mastered that. So it's okay when we're in relationships to not call it a mistake.
Yeah.
But I haven't got mastery yet. I did this because I haven't achieved mastery in attraction. I did this because I haven't achieved mastery in femininity. Yeah. I did this because I haven't achieved mastery in emotions. I did this because I haven't found mastery in energy. Yeah. Right? So if we look at it as I am constantly on this journey, and every man that comes into my life is a lesson. Yeah. And at the end of that lesson, there's going to be a test. And that's when the ugly stuff happens, right? That's the test. Exactly. But the test is not to convict me to being a loser or it's a hopeless situation. I'm too old now. I'll never find love. What we're now saying is actually, this man is my lesson for this season.
Yes.
I am going to pass or fail. Yeah. But if I fail, it tells me that I've not achieved mastery in this area. Yeah, exactly. If I pass, it means I have achieved mastery in that area. But the relationship and the outcome of that relationship, none of us have control.
Yes.
No. This idea that, you know, I could be great at relationships. I reckon I am. Still working at being great at relationships, but I think I'm better than most people. Yeah. But I can be in a relationship with somebody who's flawed and terrible at relationships. Yeah. Me being great at relationships does not guarantee that I am going to meet a person or be in relationship with people that are great at relationships, and that can cause the failure. Yeah. So even if you've done all the work, I think what we have to do is abandon the need to control the outcome. Because what we really have control over is the process, who we are in that moment, who we choose to be as a result of that moment. So this issue of not forgiving ourselves is because we're operating from the wrong paradigm. Yes. We feel like we had to have it together. Of course, you fell in love with a narcissist. Who wouldn't? I would. I mean, narcissists are
they're
nice.
Good at it. They're good at
it. They're charming.
They're attracting you in.
They're attractive.
That's why they're called narcissists.
I love me a narcissist in terms of my body loves a narcissist, because guess what? They meet your needs very quickly, very urgently. And guess what? You're human.
Yes.
You got needs that need to be met, right?
Right. If I'm thirsty and somebody offers me water, narcissists are fantastic. Yeah. And I always say to people, I don't care who you are, even myself. Hey girl,
it's Lamanda Day. Finally caught alive. We haven't done one in a while.
Exactly.
So
and we've never done one with the three of us.
No, we've never done the three of us, right? So it's the first for all of us here.
But you know, if I lost my train of thought now.
No, the narcissist.
Yeah.
Meets your needs.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
You meet a narcissist, you're going to fall for him.
Yes.
And you have to be grateful that you came out of his web. Not that you fell in it.
Yeah.
Okay, like let's keep it real.
Lesson, right?
Yeah. Right.
And the thing is, who wouldn't fall into a narcissist's web? Because, like you're saying, if someone gives you water, you're not looking to see who's holding the water.
Yeah, you're just thirsty.
You're just thirsty. Like I need that water. And you'll take it.
And they know exactly what you're thirsty for. A narcissist is a narcissist for a reason. They're wired this way. They're predatory. So I don't think any woman who falls for a narcissist should be thinking about forgiving themselves. No. I think they should be congratulating themselves to say, God, I found it. I saw it, whether it was 13 years later, 14 years, 100 years later. Thank goodness I had the wherewithal, the development to notice and move on. Yes. Right? Yes. So I think that this is where cutting yourself some slack, some self-compassion, no blame. You can't heal and forgive yourself until you're compassionate with yourself. I mean, look, I always say this to my clients, to the coaches, and to you ladies, bring me a knock and I want to fall for him.
Yeah.
At a certain level. There's some things I might find early and there's some things I might see, but there's a devil for every level, right? So it's not a rookie narcissist that's probably going to try and work with me. At my level, it's going to be an expert narc. So, you know, it's true. Like true. Every time I'm in a relationship, I always think, well, you could possibly be getting duped right now. It's just that maybe you're playing with a player at a different kind of level.
That's the thing. The possibility is always there, but it's up to you not to stick on. Oh my God, he could possibly hurt me. Oh my God, this could possibly not work. This could possibly, but it could. What if it actually works?
Yeah.
And that's where we need to move to after the forgiveness. Like say, once you forgive yourself, it's now. So I think most women on here are talking from, okay, yes, I'm not going to blame myself. I've forgiven myself, but it's the moving from that space.
Yes.
Because your body will remember the guilt. Your body will remember the shame. And we've had this conversation before. It's like the memory will be there, but it's up to you to work towards the lesson in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we could all say, oh no, it was a lesson. It was a lesson.
Yeah.
But are you actually practically applying what you learned from that lesson?
And are you being deliberate, conscious about learning different, knowing different?
Yeah.
I feel like we have a passive culture of, you know, I'll just get information. But there's a difference between, and the reason I call it the Black Swan Academy is because when we want to learn how to be a nurse, we go through a very specific process to learn how to be a nurse. If you want to be good at relationships, there is a very specific process you need to take. So, you know, it's great that, you know, when I was learning about relationships, I was taking information from everywhere and then put it together. But to actually have one-stop shop where you can go and learn to be great at relationships, that's fantastic. And this is where when you've learned the lesson and you realize you haven't achieved mastery, there's a place to go to achieve mastery. If you've learned the lesson and you've achieved mastery, then you think, okay, this is the next level. I'm seeing something here, which is, how do we get over this shame?
From Lamanda.
Shame from what? From the narc? And this is the thing with narcissists. You have to understand, again, self-compassion. The narcissist has created the scenario where you are to blame, where you take the shame. Only in a narcissistic relationship does the victim pay for the crime.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that is that is an excellent. I couldn't have phrased it better. That is brilliant.
It's like we'll break in somewhere, and you just happen to be a passenger. You're not a passenger. You're just passing by.
Exactly.
And then you get the blame.
Exactly.
And you get locked up.
Exactly. Because you've been in that cycle where you always paid for the crime, his crime. So now that you're either in it or coming out of it, of course you're wired. Your nervous system is wired. Your whole psychology, your neural pathways are wired to be the one that pays for the penalty for the predator or the person who's done the deed, because that's how narcissism works with the gaslighting and everything else. So at this point, it's about realizing, and I think sometimes when you've been in a narcissist and in a personal development world, we have stopped people from holding other people accountable for what they do to them. You know, you're not a victim. Stop being a victim. Yes, there's a victim mentality that drives me crazy, but that's not what we're talking about here. Sometimes in life, you have to realize that someone violated you and hold them accountable for that violation. And when we don't
think that's what we're actually afraid of doing. Because we think, oh my God, it's me. So I need to be accountable for me. I can't hold someone else accountable to how I feel.
If they did something, first we have to start with acknowledgement. We have to acknowledge that you violated me. And that hurt me, and that's broken me, and that's whatever. Now I am responsible for healing me. That's where that responsibility factor comes in. But we can't go around taking people off the hook for what they do to us and then having to forgive ourselves. You don't need to forgive yourself for what somebody else did. You can take responsibility for allowing it, for you know, for you know, allowing it to go on so long. But you should also look at it and think, actually, it was being done to me. I was being played by a player. Hello, a narcissist me. I know there's no such narcissist to me. And sort of, I became a codependent because I had a need that he was meeting, and we created this trauma bond.
And that's the beauty. Like, okay, I'm not saying not the beauty, but that's the thing with narcissists. It's like they are feeding on something that they know you need.
Yes.
And they also have a need that you need that need.
Yes.
So in a way, that's how those relationships end up working. And then the more you feel guilty, the more you feel the shame, then they can pile it on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's enabling
Yeah.
his need,
Yeah.
and he's enabling your need.
Yeah.
So, but then the beauty of it is now when you break out of that, it's like, oh my God, I actually got out of that. Like, oh wow.
Thank you,
Oh,
Amanda
Amanda.
Davis.
Thank you, honey.
She says $22.
Oh.
I think it's probably the first time anyone's ever.
Oh, that's so nice.
Love you.
Oh wow.
Oh,
She gave us
she gave
a gift.
She gave us a gift. That is so
Healing and
sweet.
seeing patterns too. And you're right, healing and seeing the patterns too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just add something to what you ladies have said? And you know, we meet this narcissist, we enjoy the time that he spent, giving us all the attention that we want, albeit it's from a place of wokeness, again, if there's such a word. We get over it, we get healed. And here's where we then step into and make the same mistake. We believe all men are narcissists and we treat them all and tar them with the same feather, with the same brush, So we, everyone that comes across our path, I want to take you somewhere, then he's, if he smiles at you and leaves his eyes open, he's narcissistic. Everything then becomes, this man is a narcissist. They're all narcissists. There are no good men out there. They're all narcissists. No, they are not. There are good men out there. And the fact that you've done the work when you got away from him and you've worked on yourself because you've joined the Black Swan, then guess what? You're gonna recognize a true narcissist when you see him, because you will know what red flags to avoid. You know what your core needs are, and you're not gonna shake on them. It doesn't matter what he says or does, you're not going to. So again, as we started, we're gonna say, cut yourself some slack. Enjoy the process of meeting the new person when they come into your lives. And, don't dwell on yesterday. Let yesterday remain exactly where it is in your past, and look at all the new people who are coming to you from a fresh place, from a fresh mind, and know that this next one could be the one.
Absolutely. And look, once you heal, you will not have so many gaping wounds.
Yes.
Because the thing is, the narcissist needs you to have a lot of gaping wounds. Once we start to put those pieces together, you won't have enough for him to cling on to.
Yes.
And that's what they need.
They'll have to dig deeper.
They need a grip.
Yes.
And this is where the healing. Hi, Rousey. This is where the healing. Really, when we're talking about healing, it's we have to heal from the narcissistic relationship, but we also have to heal from the stuff that made the narcissist choose us. Because we have to understand.
I think that's the thing that we never really deal with. Don't lie, because in forgiving yourself, you would have dealt with that part, right? You would have dealt with the part that has attracted the narcissist in the first place. It's uncomfortable to talk about, but there's pieces in us that we have to deal with that attract the people that we have around us. Because we all know about the whole thing about your friends are your friends because there's something in you, Chengi, that I will get. This is why we keep this company. This is why we keep the company that we keep, because there's a need that's being met. So that, I guess, going back to the topic, is about forgiveness. We need to recognize what are those traits in us that are attracting those narcissists in the first place. And that's the beauty of the journey. It's like, so, okay, now you've gotten out of this web. Okay, now let me work on me. I've joined the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Emotional mastery. Let me work on my emotions. I don't need to be having phone calls from my man every single day. I don't need for him to be texting me every single morning. I don't need for him to take me out every single Friday to validate me. Because those are the things that he's been picking up on, and then he uses that, then he
capitalizes on that.
Capitalizes his narcissisticness. What did you call it?
And even saying, look, I need to be called every single day, and I need this. And because the narcissist has got a short-term it's go hard and go fast with
Yeah.
a narcissist.
Yeah.
So they don't usually have the longevity.
No.
You know, I am somebody who genuinely loves to be love bombed. I said it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to call, I want to text, I want to be told
Yeah.
I'm pretty, I want flowers, I want it all. And that would automatically come from this thing of love bombing. It's my personal standard. Now, what I want to see is, can you love bomb me long term?
Yeah.
Right? Can you be that guy?
Yeah.
You know, don't follow my example, but I don't mind a man telling me he loves me in the first month.
No, you're
Like,
beautiful.
you love me?
4 times. Yeah.
I'm lovable like that. So
Yeah.
we have to, and that's the thing, I was talking to another relationship coach, and we're talking about love bombing and how, because it's been so put out there as a bad, you know, as this love bomb, that we don't realize that love bombing is an imitation of when a man is genuinely into you, that's how he is. When a man is genuinely into you, he's going
wants to
to
call
be
you.
calling all the time, texting,
Video calling,
buying you flowers.
everything.
He's gonna confess his undying love early.
Yeah.
This is there's genuineness, and then there's love bombing. But I think now we're pushing away what we need. The way I want to be loved, I need full on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't feel loved. And yes, I've worked on myself for years, and I've worked to myself, and I don't even need him to do it. But it's my love language. Like I need 100%.
I need to tell me I'm beautiful in the
Okay.
morning.
I need it
I'm
like every
beautiful
day.
in the afternoon.
So that can be your personal standard, but when you've healed, I am doing that consciously. I want that consciously.
Yeah.
I'm not wanting it from a place of anxiety because I didn't have it, because I was neglected, which is where I used to do it from before. I had that anxious attachment because I was, a kid of 7 children, and I felt neglected. I didn't have that one-to-one with my parents. I was always alone. And so as a result of that, I had an anxious attachment style. I've healed that. Now I have a desire and a requirement, which looks like one that comes from an anxious. So that's what healing is. It's really more complex than just forgiving and moving on. It's really about owning your authentic voice and your authentic self. Go ahead.
And it actually talks about how you're talking and what space you're now presiding in. Because once you've forgiven yourself, you shift the energy from where everything is coming from.
Yes.
So now, like you're saying, that you have this anxious attachment and this is how you love, but because it was coming from fear that you're going to leave me, so it was more needy, it was pulling energy, it was draining energy. But when you now come from a place like, no, I can get it from someone else, but I'd love you to give it to me because I'm secure in myself. But guess what? I love the way it feels. I love the way it makes me feel when you open my door. I love the way when you tell me I'm beautiful. It just does this for me. So you're now coming from that place where I love myself, but I want you to love me more. I want you to make it.
And that smells differently, doesn't it?
It does.
That doesn't smell
It's
desperate.
not needy, right?
And that when you walk with that, the confidence that you come from with that, that is sexy. That is attractive.
Exactly. And then it switches. That's what I think about when you talk, especially when you go into the academy and you watch the energy mastery and you learn how to shift. When you stop, because there's always that whole thing about, am I acting from fear or am I acting from faith? The whole thing is there love out there for me is from fear. It's from lack. It's a lack mindset. But then when you remember, God is abundant. There is abundance out there. It is literally raining men. You have a choice. You can pick whether you want it to be a snow kind of rain, or you can a slit kind of rain, or thunderstorm kind of rain. You can pick and have your pick of men, but come from a place where you appreciate it. It's like, I really love this, and because you've healed now, and it's a total energy shift, and that it's really all about your work and your internals. And once you've healed your internals, you are then, it's not even a question of, can I forgive myself? It's like, it's now you're pouring from a space of, I've forgiven myself, I now have faith. Look, I can go and make another mistake, and guess what? I'll recover from that, bounce back, and find more love.
Absolutely. This is Rels. Rels is my dear friend.
Oh, hey.
And she's like, nice things are nice. We can acknowledge that. And I think she said something else about kind of, I saw something. It encouraged others to take the journey. Tired of the doom and gloom. There's real love out there. And 100%. I feel like
100.
we've kind of almost made passion and romance be careful, you might be getting love bombed. You need to really be checking. You need to be, what we've created, I think, in the relationship space, I say we because I'm part of the community, so I've got to,
we've got to own it.
I've got to take the hit for the team. Is this fear factor? We've got people, one of the things that's really recently been really dawning on me is that we have dehumanized men.
Yes. Very much so.
When we do the whole check for this and check for that and check that, it's almost like a man is a human with a whole other wholeness around him. And yes, there are things that you can take away and look and say, oh, okay, that could be a red flag because that's not healthy. But do you know the story? Are we curious? Like in the Black Swan Nation, sometimes the girls will post stuff. If you're not in the Black Swan Nation, make sure you're in there because it's going to be going to a whole different level. But in the Black Swan Nation, the girls will say, this guy has said this. Is this a red flag? And I always think, I want a culture where we investigate that. I want a culture where we say, tell me about that. Explain that to me. We've become so fast food in relationships. It's like a fast food, red flag, boy. No one wants to stick around long enough to understand because there's a story. There's a story behind that. Let's get to the story. And I think we've become lazy. We don't want to search and dig deeper. Not to get the person off the hook, but that actually, there's the element of I could have misunderstood this. Remember, this is a stranger.
And remember, because we all have our own filters in the way we see things. I remember someone once telling me that you're a slow love. And I didn't understand that. And all the person meant was, someone needs to take time to get to know you because you view the world in a weird way. So that's the angle he was coming from, like, you're weird. But he was like, in a good way, you're weird. So you need a slow love, not a fast love. You need someone who will invest in you and take time to get to know you. But I got offended because he was literally confirming my belief that I was unlovable. That's what I heard.
Right.
So that's why sometimes we have to be very careful. Which eyes are you looking at these men from? Are you looking at the dating gurus have told you that you need to look out for this, red flag this, and da 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 da. Yes, there's many. Even you yourself have red flags.
Yes.
And if somebody I remember being online once and I said to this guy, we just sort of hit it off quite quickly, and then he said, can we talk? Because men want to move really fast. When they find you, they want to take you off. Fine, I understand that. And I was actually there for a little bit of research, but I was single, so I always keep it open. So anyway, he said, oh gosh, he asked me a really good question, and I answered it, quite wholeheartedly. And, I guess people online tend to give little snappy, quick answers, but I was quite wholehearted in my response in this instance. So he got excited. Can we talk on the phone? I said, love to, but I genuinely, can we do that on Sunday? And I think it was 4 days later. Now, the reason I said Sunday is because my schedule is what it is. And I never go on a phone or video unless I can be present. And I knew that I had meetings all the way through for the next, my calendar was chocker. And I knew Sunday for sure, I would be rested and I would really be able, because I knew he wanted something really meaningful and meaty. Anyway, when I said Sunday, when I went back to him, he had deleted me. He unmatched me. Why did he do that? Because somebody in the dating world told him, if she doesn't want to jump on a call with you straight away, she's not into you. Somebody told him, these five red flags.
Is no one's ever too busy to take your call right
now. He's been listening to whatever's in the sphere, and it didn't occur to him to say, is there a reason for Sunday? That's all he had to do. He had to just see me as a human being, not a game, not a girl that he's got to play and come through.
And play the game.
He just had to ask, you seem like you've got a really huge schedule, is there a reason Sunday works best for you? And I could have said to him, well, actually, I am very busy. Thank you for acknowledging that. Sunday, I'm going to be very rested. I've got all the time in the world to really give you my time and attention, because I can tell you the kind of man that wants a meaningful conversation, right? And that could have been amazing. But he was going off the guru stuff, the stuff that we're churning, and forgetting I'm a whole other person. And this, which is going to your point, that he saw that as a red flag. but it wasn't a red flag. It was a genuine thing. And when we go around treating men like, you know, with this technical kind of thing, here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, I don't give rules, and I definitely give guidance. And I always say I don't give rules,
principles,
but we're here to give you principles that you can work through. But I want us to have more of a curiosity.
Yeah.
I want you to be curious about the humanity of the person. I want you to be, because, you know, so he missed out. You know, shame for him. It's not like there was any lack. But I missed out too because it was a fantastic question. You know, that you don't get those online, you know. So we could have had a fantastic situation going back and forth. These are the dangers of, you know, having this fast food
cancel culture, isn't it? It's
cancelled.
Cancelled.
X on the thingy, you know.
You know, when you go to it's not even so much a cancel, it's a throwaway culture that we've got, and when we don't inquire, what we miss out on is astronomical, because guess what, that person may not know, and because they don't know, if you'd stopped to inquire, you would have found out from them. Not only would you have found out from them, but they would have learned something to know, this is not how I behave. In future. If I said this, and this, then she will get it, not see it as a red flag, and your options would be open to you for even greater people to come in. So it's a learning for everyone to not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Love
what is Rel saying?
The Mondays was 100% yes, just because you have integrity and you own your schedule.
Exactly.
And there is no grace. That's so right.
There is no grace. I think we need to really shift culture, especially as Black Swans, because we are the phenomenal. Rel says, real connection can't be found without vulnerability. 100%. And if we're not trying to do this by formula, we will miss out. You know, I think we need to get rid of this throwaway culture, and cancel culture, formula culture.
Too impatient.
We're too impatient.
Because it's a culture that we're in. I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. Because, you know, when you think back a few years ago, if you wanted to make a cup of tea, you went to the tap, you turned the tap on, you put the in the kettle, you turned the tap off, you took the kettle to the stove, you turned that on, you waited for the water to boil, you got the cup, put the tea bag in, or the pot to put the leaves in, let it stew, then pour it. Now, you want a cup of tea, you get a box, you take the tea bag out, you put it in the cup, you go over to the tap, you turn it on to boiling, and you get your water in seconds. And we believe that's how every area of our life should be, including romance.
Absolutely. Romance has to be cooked. It has to be, you have to have which is why when you're healed, you have the stuff that it takes to work it through. You know, you've got the stuff to
make a good stew.
Exactly. So
I'm actually looking for a quote which I saw on Instagram yesterday about the slowness of romance. Where is it? It was on my stories. So we're just kind of going into Instagram because there's the whole thing. It really grabbed my attention. It's not letting me go in. But the whole thing about romance is we think that it's a fast-paced thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to meet this person and oh my God, we're just going to have this fire, the chemistry, but then romance is never really about that, right? Romance is slowly cooked.
It's unassuming romance, isn't it?
Exactly.
It takes its time and it creeps up on you, and then before you know it, it's you have got this wonderful thing that's going on, and you're wondering. And you will hear women say, I didn't see it coming. And we don't want that. We want it now. And
we want to see it coming.
And you know what? I've got to give that girl who needs to see it coming, because I'm the girl that needs to see it coming, okay? I'm definitely the weirdo. For me, I need a burning desire very quickly, right? And I understand that. I'm very conscious that that's not the best, but I need it because I've tried the other way and it has not worked, okay? But here's the thing. I am prepared to, even in the burning desire, take the journey and let that journey unfold, right? And I am prepared to learn about you. I am prepared to learn who you are while I fire up.
Yes.
Right now, it's okay, but you know, I always say to the coaches, everything is about consciousness.
Yes.
Are you conscious of the dynamics you're creating? You know, I've learned to be clear about the dynamics and consciously create them. And this is a different level of dating. And I was saying to the coaches, she's on Instagram.
Sorry, I'm recording.
I was saying to the coaches that next year or maybe later on this year, I'm going to do a class. It's called intuitive dating. So it's a higher level form of dating. And you will only be able to do intuitive dating when you've been doing duty dating and real dating, and then you will be elevated to intuitive dating, because this is what I'm talking about: consciousness and dynamics and authenticity. Okay, and operating from your authentic place. Now, you know, once we get that, you can figure out your personal landscape, right? Your personal landscape, and still build something strong. But the issue here is, I don't get triggered about things I don't understand.
Yes.
I've developed a patience, even in the fire, to be like, explain that to me.
Yeah.
Am I hearing you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G? You know, even if it was the guy that said to me, can I speak to you on Friday? I'll be like, am I hearing you say that you can make a lady wait? Right? Even in a flirtatious kind of way. Yeah. And then he'll say, oh, no, it's just because I want to be able to. But ask the question. Have the patience.
Yeah.
Even if somebody's flashing like he is controlling or whatever, am I sensing control here?
Or is it just my filter?
Or is it just my
filter?
Or is it just my filter? Yeah. Exactly. Why don't we take the time to investigate?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we do that when we're dating, and I don't think we do that in relationships. You know, we're just out here being a trigger factory, and that's not serving any one of us. So I want us to really kind of grow and learn. That's what I was saying. And as women, we have been encouraged to want to take control. It is considered to be a sign, liberation, that there's a mystery and discovery. What is this? It is considered to be a sign, liberation, but there is a sign, liberation, but there is a mystery and discovery element in exactly.
And love.
Yeah. We need to look. One of the things as well, you know, bouncing off that point, the energy that is controlling is masculine. And this is also part of how women have been made masculine with culture. This desire to control, this is not feminine. Masculine energy is controlling, competitive, and conquering, right? That's its hallmark. When, as women, we're passive, patient, and vulnerable. It's about, we are the gatekeepers. We have veto right? We can veto the things we don't want, but at least we have to be open to them coming our way.
Yes.
You know, we have to be open to him saying, doing certain things. And we can veto it and say, okay, no, not here, no, thank you. We have the right to know, but we can't control what comes our way. And I think we want to control everything at the funnel. So now that's masculine energy. And sadly, you know, men have become quite feminine energy too, which does not serve us at all.
Not.
But
actually, we had a Ndabi sang Modisi say good evening from Johannesburg. Hey, South Africa. I'm so happy to be here. Very important topic, ladies. And then further down, Rhonda from Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, wow. The islands are with us.
I know. Men don't know anything about taking it slow. I feel fully healed. I do take my time, romance, and it's just not their or it's just not their forte. And the thing is, again, that's kind of, it's a generalization, right? But then the thing is, masculine energy is all about conquering, right?
Yes.
Not totally all, but then it's mostly about conquering.
Yeah.
The minute he finds you, this good thing that is fun, he
Yeah.
wants to lock it down.
This is so masculine.
Yeah.
It's so masculine. And I
Yeah.
actually put up a video on Instagram a few days ago about, they were doing a poll on how would you feel if a man approaches you on the street, and a lot of women now get offended by men approaching them on the street because one, they're taking control, they're taking charge. So again, we're losing very slowly our feminineness in receiving an approach. Right. And
the compliments in that.
That
he's had to overcome anxiety.
He's
had to, you know, I think it's to be honest with you, it's this whole sort of extreme feminism that is really shifting culture in a very, very unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is the feminine's love need is the masculine coming towards her.
Yeah.
Right? Once we start to reverse roles and this is the problem why we complain about feminine men, but we're creating them in culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now we're asking men to be passive. Masculine
Which
energy is not passive. It is active. It is forward moving. It is conquering. Like Coach Unique said, once we start putting men in a position where they're wrong to be masculine, or we're going to have a feminine energy, guys, and then we're going to complain. Because trust me, a masculine man is turned off by... He cannot attach emotionally to something he did not conquer.
Yes.
And that's what we need to understand. This is all in the Mastering Attraction Masterclass. Yeah. For a man to fall in love, he's got to conquer. He's got to experience challenge. That's how they fall in love. And we fall in love when we are being showered with all kinds of niceness.
And being moved towards.
Exactly. So we are also robbing ourselves of the love. So, with Rhonda in Tobago, it's really not about making them wrong for being forward moving. I mean, you're fabulous. You're a black swan. What can I say? Yeah. And I want y'all to understand that if you're a black swan, you're going to be gold dust. Yeah. And I know y'all think that I might be saying this to sweet talk you, but I ain't a guy and I'm not trying to get into your knickers. Okay. I am saying this because women like us are very, very rare. Very rare. A lot of women out here are so low value, so low self-esteem, so low that when a man finds a good thing, when he finds a black swan, when he finds a woman with self-esteem, self-worth, a sense of self, who's on a healing journey, and again, we never are fully healed. We're always on a healing journey. I will die healing, okay? So never think I am fully healed. We're all healing to be healed constantly on this journey because when we unravel one piece, another piece comes out. So we need to be okay with that. But I want you to receive it as a compliment that they want to get you and keep you and hold you down. But now what that means is now you are now fully in charge. That's what you are fully in charge of the process. Because now, how many of you, and put it in the comments, have dated a guy who doesn't want to be dated, who doesn't want you to date, who's not in it? A guy who's not in it, you're out of control. You cannot control that situation. How many of you felt in control when you want a guy who doesn't want you? Yeah. You literally have zero control. Because he won't call you when he wants to. You feel completely out of control. But when a man is coming towards you, you can then control his direction. But at least he's coming towards you, right? I know what it is to like a guy who doesn't like me. You have to be waiting on your phone. Is he going to call? Is he not going to call? What's going to happen? Does he like me? Does he not like me? Oh my God. You're out of control. Your life is chaotic, right? But when a man likes you, you can then control the narrative. Yes. You can control how fast, how slow, what, when, where, how much. Because what I love about masculine energy is his total focus to winning you over means that usually they'll do anything. The focus of the masculine to have what they desire pretty much means you get to sort of drive the car in a way. So our control comes from letting him being a man. And I don't want to use the word control, but our safety and our ability to navigate in a high value way is when we allow him and make him right. Even on dating apps, when a man initiates a conversation, I praise him for that because I feel like it's my job to shift culture. So I'm like, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm really flattered that you made the first move, right? When a man walks up to the street, stops his car to talk to me, I always stop and say, thank you so much for the compliment of stopping your car. Unfortunately, I'm taken or I'm not interested or whatever the story is. But we need to make it okay for masculine men to be forceful. We need to make it okay for them to want to commit. We need to make it okay for them to want to take us off. But we have the communication skills, how to talk to men, so they listen. Okay, so we get to use our communication skills. But trust me, unless a man wants you and wants you badly, you are going to struggle. with that relationship dynamic. So so what I'm hearing here is that men in Tobago are masculine. Hallelujah. Let's all fly to Tobago.
I know, right?
Let's all just go to Tobago for a retreat and get ourselves some masculine men.
I love Nick Nack says it takes time to suss these things out. Best to be observant, which is incredibly difficult when feelings get involved. Sometimes men can be shy though. This adds another dynamic.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think the fact that you can identify that as shyness, that's okay, because it's about what you can identify. And, you know, it takes I think we as women, whilst I like fire and passion, don't rush me though.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, so many of us, you know, especially church girls, if there are any church girls on this line, I'm sure there are a few. Bells are like Tobago loading. Hello.
Yes.
We're booking off my
Meet you there. Meet you there, honey.
You know, I think especially religious church girls it's almost like you allowed love in its full expression after marriage.
Yeah.
So what we do is we rush the marriage part.
Yeah.
Right, because we just like, if I want the full expression, I'm going to rush it.
Yeah.
And I think that has become our greatest weakness. We don't need to rush commitment. What we need to be deliberate and conscious about is getting to know the other person genuinely.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only focus we should have. Because guess what? If you do that right, commitment is only a matter of time.
Yes. Because again, you're creating a safe space for people to just be themselves.
Yes.
Just as much as we need to be safe and protected, a man needs a safe space to lay his heart.
Yes.
Because he's out here, the world is battering him.
Yeah.
He needs to meet demands. At work is pressuring. That's what he looks for in his companion. He needs to feel like he's safe. It's not about you saying the words, "Oh, you're safe," but he needs to feel that energy around you of safety.
Yes.
Then commitment becomes a given, right? He's like, of course,
It's a
natural
natural flow when a man is with you and he's not getting desperate energy.
Yes.
And he's not getting marry me energy. And he's not getting, when a man is with you, and we're doing the class, we forgot to mention Secrets of a Man's Mind, that's coming out soon.
How to intrigue.
It's going to be a free class, and we're going to be talking about this. One of the secrets of a man's mind or a man's heart is his need to be safe too.
Yes.
I know that we think that
it's just us,
isn't it?
only girls, whilst it's a massive priority for us as a feminine, it's not a priority. I always say men, I think it's an advert on my videos, men want the same things as you do. We just want them in a different priorities. We want them in different
packaging,
and the priority is a little bit different as well. Hussey Blake says, peace is the no I need. Peace is the number one need. Peace is the number one need. Absolutely. So like, we have to understand that a man is also an emotional being.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I have to say this. I've said it on my Instagram. I say it. Maybe I say it more to the BSN girls, the girls in the Black Swan Nation. But men are not gadgets. They're emotional beings. And their emotional space needs to feel safe. And many of us are unsafe places for men without knowing it. Because we're so hungry for our safety, we are not creating a safe space for him. Men don't want to sit with you, and I don't want to start giving away the class now, but men don't want to sit with you. I'll give a little bit away.
Just a teaser.
A man does not want to sit across the table from you on a date feeling like he's a means to an end.
Yes.
He doesn't want to feel like any guy will do. Put a ring on. I'm at the ring stage, boy.
Put a ring on it so we can upgrade.
If you're prepared to put a ring on it for an upgrade, he doesn't want that. He wants to know that you want him. Every guy wants to know
that you've
that
chosen
I
him,
want you, Johnny.
I choose you.
Because Johnny, you like breakfast at 8 p.m. I like you because of your weirdnesses, and I like you because you smile funny, and your teeth, it kind of pokes in this direction and is real cute. just like you want to be loved for you, you wouldn't want a sense of, well, I want to get laid, so any girl will do. If you got the bits, yeah, you'll do. Sometimes you feel like that when dates, right?
Yeah.
We can make men feel like, you got money?
Yeah.
You've got
car?
you're a man?
House?
Have you got the equipment for children? You'll do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And men can feel that. A man can feel when you just have an agenda and you need you got a whole script and you just need the right person to put it in it. Just, okay, we'll take you. And he knows when it's him.
Yes.
And he needs to feel safe. He needs to know it's him. So when a woman's priority is, I want to get married, I want to get married, I want to get married, that energy signature is so loud that a man will sit there and think, I'm just a stooge. I'm just here to fill a space.
Sorry, don't you also find with that kind of energy though, that the masculine man, he will conquer it, use and then go, because he knows that you're going to give him whatever it is he wants to keep him. And so he will take it, albeit he's not taking you.
Yes.
He's just taking what's on offer at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's how, unfortunately, the way in which our young girls are being brought up today is to hit it and quit it. And if he doesn't want to hit it and quit it, then something is wrong.
Yeah.
Then get rid of him and go on to the next, because it's by doing this, that's how you get what you want. And that kind of desperation smells awful. And unfortunately, it's used and
that's a
abused.
good point. And I feel like church girls are more at risk. But, you know, I think in general, women are more at risk because we do want commitment and we do want the safety that comes with marriage, because marriage is really for women when we're young and for men when they're old. But, you know, we want that sense of being safe within a relationship to a point where we really don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and like you said, once a man, and men have told me this, once a man figures out your agenda, he's going to hit it and quit it.
Yes.
He's going to take, like Coach Yvonne said, he's going to take advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
He's gonna say, "Oh, you want to get married? I want to. I want to get laid. I want you to cook for me." Then he's gonna start making demands because you're so married and committed to the commitment, and not to who you're in that commitment with.
Exactly.
Yes.
Once a man feels like she sees me, he has no choice but to be vulnerable with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once he knows she sees me, he has to show himself quicker than before. And I have to be honest. Many of us are more in love with having a boyfriend and a husband than we are with the actual person.
That's what we're more in love with the idea
of
it's like, I need to be seen with a man.
Yes.
Then I have arrived.
And
it's sad because in some cultures that is how we've been schooled.
Absolutely.
If you're not married, you're not a woman.
Yes.
If you don't have a child, you're not a woman.
Yes.
If you don't have, you're not a woman.
Yeah.
When really we're all just human beings looking for our needs to be met, and to meet that one person who accepts us. Whatever angles we show them.
And you know what doesn't help as well is the company that we keep and the groups that we go around with. Because in the group, if there's one who's in a relationship, whether it be new or she's in it for some time, she's always seen as, oh, she must have it all put together because she has got this one. How did you do it? Where did you find him from? You know, how can I get mine? And it's almost like nobody wants to be the last man standing. So what do? You go out and you get and you continue getting, but you're not getting because all you're doing is all these men are seeing you. You're pretty. You've got all the right attributes. But what is emulating from you is, I just want you to put a ring on it. I just want
the idea.
You're a man, so you'll do, and it's so wrong.
And this is it. We I think you did a video on desperation. You know, we really have to do the work. Because I really feel that, and in some cultures, like you said, it's deeper. You know, your whole identity as a woman is dependent on whether you can have a man. And I think we need to really, we need to build on ourselves internally enough to say, I am not sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am single.
Yes.
It's not a disease. It's not
and you know,
you're not going to catch my singleness.
You know when you're healed and you know who you are, you know where you're going, and you're making strides to get there, then it's actually, I'm single and I like it.
Yes.
And we don't do that enough. We enjoy. Do you know if those who are in long-standing relationships and married, they are secretly sitting in their relationships envious of when the single women are saying, oh, we're going here and we're going.
It's like something that we are burdened with this thing that we need to get rid of.
Yes.
But really, even in relationships, we need to take our singleness into a relationship.
Very much so.
And have your time, right?
Yes.
Because that is who he fell in love with in the first place, the single you.
Yes.
And also,
because you're a whole single.
Yes.
Absolutely. And also, on top of both those points, from a married woman, there are women that are dying in marriages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they think going back to singleness is a cursed state of being.
Yes.
Right? There are women that are losing their minds, losing their lives. I think there was a lady, a gospel singer the other day in Nigeria who lost her life. People losing their lives because we have made marriage a status symbol.
Yes. It's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So now women are out here holding on to these horrid marriages, because I can't even call it a marriage, because they're afraid to be single. And I remember, and Raul will remember this as well, we're driving in the car, and a friend of ours was like, even if he beats me, even if he kills me, I'll never leave my marriage, because I don't want to be single. And it wasn't just that, but I've heard it in multiple conversations. I would rather die here than be single. This messaging that we have embraced, I would rather die than be single. I feel sorry I have a terrible marriage, but when I hear my single friends talking about their problems, I think, you know what, I'm just going to stay.
Yeah.
It's because those of us who are single, have so made singleness the worst experience in humanity that people now are afraid of being single. So they'll stay with an abuser, they will spend years. And what we need to do is, and I always say this, that you were born alone. Singleness is a natural state, and togetherness is a divine state. We're born alone because that's the most natural state. We die alone. It's the most natural. So it should feel more natural to be single than to be married. Being married is not the natural state. It is the divine state. It is the, God saying, look, you can be better, do better when there are two of you. So I love marriage. I am a purporter of marriage. I love it. I want to see it work. I want to see people stay married. I want to see people in healthy relationships. This is why I do what I do. But I also want to see single women be happily single. I want to see women heal, grow, find joy and happiness. I've had clients who came to me and they were like, I must get married or I'll die, Chengi. I'll die if I don't find a man. Because I don't care what anybody says. I've heard it all before. I've watched the televisions and they say you should be happy single. I'm not happy single. I'm over it. I need a man or I'll die is a kind of, paraphrase. By the time they've done the Soulmate Attraction System course and come to the end, they'll say, you know what? I don't want to date.
I'm okay.
I want to travel.
Okay.
I want to. There's so many things I haven't done.
Right? Discover so much life, don't they? It's like, and you can see the transformation, because most of the time, most of the clients when they come on, they're coming on because either they were trying to get over someone. It's that like, oh my God, I need help in this area. Then they realize, oh my God, there's beauty everywhere else. I just don't need to look for beauty here. My singleness is so beautiful already. And so much so that they always go on to meet amazing partners.
They go on and meet amazing partners. Recently, we had a lady who went back, who actually reunited with her ex. And this story, oh gosh, I know she won't mind me sharing, but I'm not going to share the details, but I just want to share this scenario. This man was closed off completely, and the relationship ended. It wasn't great. And she was sharing this story, and this man literally, since she had her transformation and changed and became more vulnerable, this man, when they saw each other again, she was vulnerable enough to say, look, I know you want to be friends, but it will never be friends for me. And if we're going to see each other, whether it's casually, I want you to know this is where I'm at. So they meet up, and she says he came tumbling down the stairs, and he held her and melted in her arms. And this is what the soulmate does. And she was like, my shift has been so profound that now he's more vulnerable. Now he's talking. So sometimes we find at the end of the soulmate that they are reunions. People come back together, but what they create is completely different from what they had before. Or they find incredible love. But here's the one thing that every client leaves the academy with, without a shadow of a doubt. They leave the academy with a relationship with themselves.
Yes.
That is so beautiful.
That's I think that's the most.
That
it's so amazing to see.
Yes.
When you can see that smiles lighting up after the 7 week or 12 weeks, it's like, wow. And for us, I think I was part of that journey.
It's a joy.
I was part of that journey. It's a joy. And what that does for us as well as human beings, we're not just your coaches, but we're human beings too. It's like, yes, we can say, oh yeah, I'm doing this for my purpose, I'm doing this, but then it's the actual seeing that smile, that glow, that someone walking off and really seeing their own potential.
It's that, what that does for me is to see that woman when you see her walking down the road, her shoulders are hunched, her head's down, and she's just dragging herself around. And then 4 or 5 weeks into the course, you see that same woman again, her shoulders are up, her chest is out, her head is up, she's smiling. She walks with a sense of purpose. I'm going somewhere. And when you see that, and as another woman, and you're watching her, you're wondering, well, where did she get that from? I want that. And it's so attractive when you see that. And it's only when you've done the work, because you now understand, but I am lovable. I am worth loving me. And you know, when you meet you actually like you. You want to spend time with you. And when other people get in your spending time with yourself, you kind of get annoyed. You've come and interrupted. You go out to a restaurant and you're having dinner on your own. You've got a book and you're just enjoying your surroundings, and somebody comes and says hello. Whilst you're polite, you're thinking, but you're encroaching on my date with me.
I was on a date,
I want to say something, because Rhoda here says, I've been single for 20 years. It's great, but sometimes I feel like getting someone, like getting someone, but I'm very happy. So many women are married and lonely and sad, and it's really sad. And I want to say something to you, Rhoda. 20 years alone. That's a long time to be alone, baby.
I've done that.
And here's my thing. I'm so proud of you that you feel good. But look, the issue here is not that we're proudly single and stay single till we die. Okay? It's okay to want to change your state. It's okay to want to experience companionship. In fact, it is essential that we experience connection, right? And romantic connection is good for our soul, it's good for our hormones, it's good for our body, it's just good for us, right?
It's
good. It's next level. Okay, so I want us here listening today that we're not inviting you to fall in love with singleness until you're single forever, right? And
don't abandon it.
It's about this beautiful balance of I am a whole individual who's just gonna enjoy life that bit more when I'm connected. But it's not like I don't enjoy it now, right? It's gonna be more colorful, it's gonna be broader, it's gonna be bigger, I can do more. When I am connected romantically, I'm connected with my friends, that's great, but that's a different energy. Now, a lot of us are single because we don't know how to change it. The singleness I'm talking about is the singleness that's in the academy, or the singleness that our clients walk away with. They are so competent at getting a man that singleness is a choice. Many of us are single because we don't have the competency. We just don't know how. We don't know how to get a man. We don't know how to do the man thing. And if we know how to get a man, we don't know how to keep him. So this is not a choice anymore. It's a bit like what I say, no one's fasting in a desert.
No, exactly. It's like you have no choice. There's no water.
If you're in a desert, you're only fasting when there's food in your house and you are choosing not to eat it. What we have to understand is, for some of us, singleness is actually a choice. Trust me, I do not have a man keeping problem, right? It's a choice. So And I choose it because I can change it. And the coaches are always laughing because I literally say to them, right, I'm going to get a man now. And they know within 2 to 4 weeks, I got some man, okay? Because I know how to get a man. I know how to keep a man. Now, it might not work for whatever reason, maybe working on myself some more or working on him, but the get and keep piece, I got that on lockdown. So the point I'm making is, that's the singleness I'm talking about. I want you to be competent and capable. I need you to know how to date and flirt. I need you to know how to attract a man. I need you to know how to keep a man. I need you to know how to keep attraction going in a man. Then you can say, I'm happy being single. Because you can change that at any time. Just like when you're fasting. As long as you know there's food in the fridge, that's when you're fasting. If there's food in the cupboard, you're fasting. If there's no food, anyway, you are not fasting, you are starving. Okay? And what I don't want is to promote starvation. I don't want you ladies so proud to be single that you're starving your soul.
And we're born for connection, aren't we? I think the kind of singleness that we want you to have is the kind of singleness that promotes and companionship and not single but. Single but I need. And we need you to incorporate, I am single and I would love companionship. I am single but I choose right now I just want a bit of personal time. It's never the singleness where literally I'm so glad to abandon it. It's like I'm jumping out of my skin.
It's like, get me out of here.
And you know, so that's what we want you to get to. And that's why we encourage you to join the community. Like, this live has been amazing, I think. I think we should do
I think every Monday.
Yes, I think so too. I think so too. We will be having a lot more special times as well when some of the coaches are here. And we'll be doing some live, so stick around. We'll be doing a lot more of this. I know it feels like I'm cutting it short. But it was only meant to be for 30 minutes. And we've been on for 81 minutes.
Oh my God.
Seconds.
Oh dear.
Wow. That's how much fun.
Like it.
I wasn't supposed to be here.
She wasn't supposed to be here.
I just said some girls.
It was too fun.
I was like, girls, I do not have a video for today because the editor hasn't brought the video for Monday. So we need to go live. And I know you came for a team meeting, but you think you could go live so I can sort myself out. So I was actually out of the room and I saw them on the video. I was like, oh, I want to be part of it. So it's really good and spontaneous. As you can tell, I don't even have any makeup on. It's ridiculous, right?
I know.
I'm makeup free.
Prepared
and hey, you get to see me for the first time on camera with no makeup. So I think you should applaud for Mama SWAN self-growth and development. Yay!
And the thing is that the beauty of live is it almost feels like you're here with us. It's not just about, we've got a camera in front of us, but we can see your comments and you are getting, like, we can go through the comments and give you, it's almost like an insight into a discovery call. We're giving you the insights so you can really see how we think, how we process your questions. So whenever we say, give us some questions to answer, it's not that we're trying to pry into your business. It's like, we want to really help you see the what goes on in the thought processes, and that's how we bring about the content that you end up seeing. So I think, should we give it let's give it another 8 minutes, then we can call it, we've done an hour and a half.
Well, we can read the rest of the comments for sure.
Good.
I came in late and started listening from the beginning. Thank you for transparency. You're so welcome. This has been so nourishing. Oh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. Coach Nadine is like, all your coaches look great. So thank you, Coach Nadine. We love you.
Hey, Nadine.
Then Trees Nicole says, developing my voice also helped me get out of that relationship with a narcissist. It's important for time to assess my feelings and also sit with myself and see the relationship is fruitful. I am so super proud. It is a bit like counseling session too. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, ladies. This has blessed my morning. This is fantastic. Is there anything else that you have missed out on reading? Perhaps?
No, I'm just looking back. I think it's for me. Lamanda, yes. Where is it? Just after Coach Nadine.
Correct.
Something,
But without the love and self-awareness I attract men. I just don't know if it's worth the exchange of my personal peace. I love men, but I request a special man. Honey Bunny, Lamanda, I want you to join the Black Swan Nation. I want you to come to mama.
Yeah.
Come to mama. Come here. Okay. I want you to know that there are men that bring you peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly,
yes.
I want you to know that there are men that bring you healing. I want you to know that there are men that bring you more self-worth and more I want you to know that. I want you to know that. I want you to know that because I help clients create it every day. I want you to know it because these women right here have created it. I want you to know because I've created it. I want you to know that there are men out here who won't steal or rob you of your peace, baby. What they're gonna do is heal you. They're gonna work with you. They're gonna be part of your healing. And you know, I don't want us to retract from relationships and love because we're so afraid that bringing another human being in is going to cause us to not find that love. I want you to know that this love is real. I want you to know it exists. If it didn't, I would quit my job. Honestly, I would quit it. But I know because I see it every day. We create it every day. We create it with our clients every day. For those of you who are married and who feel like your relationships have gone off rail, I want you to know that it can be turned around. I want you to know that because we've been working with married women for a long time, and that's why we have our marriage coach here. You can turn a loveless, dull, dead relationship into passion and love because the woman is the highest influencer in a relationship.
This is what you actually normally say. It's like the woman is the temperature. The man is the thermostat. It is in our power to actually shift things around. But it starts with us doing the work. It's messy. Like all our clients will tell you, they'll be crying on the first 3, 4, 5 calls.
We always get the
Even
tears.
we'll be crying with them. It's messy. It's not all, you know, we don't want, it's all goo and, come meet the men and here they are, they're over here. But when you start to do the work, and the thing is, and we've witnessed it. We witness it when women start to do the work and the husband is like, what's going on here?
What happened?
What happened here? And you see the whole thing turning around and you're like, wow.
It's really is truly a joy to behold when somebody actually gets hold of themselves and know who they really are. And not only do you know who you are, you know your worth in your marriage. And when that happens, then you see your partner, you see your spouse, you see them in a new light because you're looking at them through different lenses. And when that happens, it's beautiful.
It's almost like we're the relationship opticians. We're giving you lenses for you to see with.
You know, there's something that Lucille has said here, and I'm going to be out because I've got things to do, girl. But there's something
3 more minutes.
Something Lucille Anderson says that I think it crowns a lot of the comments of hopelessness. And baby girls, baby swans, swanlings, I know that's not what they're called.
No.
But darling swans, let me just say something to you. Lucille says, you have to have faith that God will provide the man you need. I want to take it a step further, baby girls.
And what as well?
You have to have faith that God has provided. Okay. He has. I want you to know that there is no lack. The biggest demon is the one that told you that there is lack. That it's coming. The Bible tells me this. Whoever prays must believe that he has received.
Like past tense.
Praying and hoping. I know they're called signets, but I like to call them swanlings because it's kind of cute. We cannot. Our faith has to be aligned appropriately. There is no lack. Your husband is walking on the face of the earth today. And I want you to know something. He's not even far from you. Where you stand, God has given you the land. So what are you missing? The keys to unlock it. That's why Black Swan Relationship Academy exists. the key to unlock it. That's it.
Yeah.
Your money, your man, your power, your they are present and correct. The number is correct. The person who's right for you, who your DNA is configured with, they're here.
Yeah.
So stop hoping on a one sweet day. That's today.
Yep.
Now all you have to do is unlock it. And we unlock it by knowledge and understanding.
Yes.
The keys of the kingdom are hidden in all you're getting. Get understanding. It's what you don't know that is keeping you hopeless. It's what you don't know that is keeping you single, or what you have been misinformed about. Now, if we can correct that, you will find that your path is very straight. Your man is not far. Your man is not far. The relationship you desire is not far. It's on the other side of your healing. It's on the other side of information. It's on the other side of knowledge. But it's not far. So, sweetheart, please, let's take it that bit further. And stop saying God is going to bring it. God done
He
bring
done
it.
brought it already.
Because
You done brought it.
the Bible actually tells you, I believe it's in, I think it might be in Ezekiel, where God says, I am sending men. There is no scarcity. But why people, I believe that there's a scarcity of men is because they keep attracting the same person over and over again.
And then
that looks like there's a scarcity
and
because I can't find the
right
one. I can't find the good one. The good ones are there. But when you are not fixed, when you are still broken, you can't see good. It's as they say, you can't see the wood from the tree. So what you really need to do is begin working on you. Once you've started the journey, then put what you've learned into practice, and you will find the right one is already in your midst.
He's there.
For you.
He's there. Trust me, I've been doing this for years and years and years. He's never, ever, ever far away from you. Once we clear certain blocks, clear certain energy, or just commit to the journey, I promise you, you are going to change your life and your love life forever and ever. I am going to say goodbye now, girls, because
I was gonna say, on that note, that is how you forgive yourself.
Yes.
Doing
that is how you forgive yourself. By healing yourself.
What do we say? You are loved.
You are loved.
So loved.
Mwah, mwah. We'll see you next week, Monday. And I promise we'll be ready for you. We'll be ready for you, girls. But it's just girls. It's just girls being casual and having a good time. So yeah, welcome for joining us.
What would you call it now?
Bye.
Bye.
Couch Monday.
Couch Monday.
Couch Monday.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Sorry for my thumb. Oh dear.